Not that I got the words. No, but it's very good. So we can start if you want.
Let's start from the start.
Yeah.
So with your first feature, what led up to that?
I think I did a tricky thing also, because I did, before The Stolen Man, I did another film that was a collective film, a film done by 11 directors. And somehow the experience of making that movie, that was very important for me, also took me to make my first feature by myself. Like all the energy that I grew in that experience, where I met where I work again with the DP, where I met the girls, where I met Romina and Maria, was like just the beginning in this collective film. And that energy that I saw that was growing up, I said, okay, I have to keep on working on it. There's something that I feel comfortable, and I think it's interesting for me to undergo and to undertake this pairing of people together to make a film. And something that usually happens once you finish a film, I usually get the feeling that I want to do another one. Like once it's over, you get a little bit anxious and you say, I would like to keep on shooting. And then I'd say, okay, I will do a short film, something simple that I can manage, and through my university. And I applied for, they gave us the schedule, a week, a 60mm camera. I haven't shot in film, so I wanted to shoot in film. And well, it led like something like, when I finished school, finished this collective film, it was okay, let's keep on working. Let's treat this like an athletic kind of activity, so keep on working. And I shot that short, and it took me some time to edit it because there were big problems with the material, with the chemical material. Apparently, they sold me like rotten material, so it was like tragic. Suddenly everything was lost, and they were warning us from the lab that it was awful and blah blah blah. And then I got to see the material, and it was not that terrible. It was a little bit crappy, but it was fine. So I edited all the same. It was horrible time, but when I saw it, it was okay, maybe I can do something with it. I started editing with Alejo Mogishansky, that he edits my films, and at the same time he's a filmmaker by himself. He has like 3-4 films, and very good films as well. And we started editing this short film, and the short film didn't work out that well, and there was something that was not working. And he realized that the material was good, but something was missing. So there should be, Alejo loves to tell you that you have to shoot more, to go to reshoot. He loves to do it. And at first it seems like a little bit of a mess, but then it's very good because you kind of think of it as a very homemade or handcraft activity, because you write, you rehearse, you shoot, you edit, and then you write again, and you shoot, you rehearse, and this kind of writing and rewriting, I think it's very helpful for the films, for films. So he told me, okay, I think these characters are interesting, so maybe they can meet again, and there's something that it's not that clear. So, and we started one night with a piece of paper. We just did like the design of the film, and we realized that this short film was no short film at all. That what it was missing was the usual thing that people that just started don't realize, that it's the middle part of the film that is the most difficult. I just went from the beginning to the end, and that's what the strange thing with a short film. You say, how can she get here, coming from this place? And you have to develop, you have to see more, you have to take time. So we developed the plot somehow like this, the two of us, and we decided to keep on shooting. So I asked for my university to provide me with the cameras for 2 times. Like the first shooting was March, April, the second one was September, October, and the third one was December, January. 1 week each. And we just did that. We edited, we wrote, we shot, we edited again. It was very interesting how I really like that way of working. I never got to do it again in such a long period of time. I would love to do it again. And I did it, but in shorter periods. And then, well, in a year time, there was even a fourth retake in February, and finally we did it, and suddenly we had this feature. You cannot see the short film out of it because it was never a short film. It was a atrofiado, like a feature atrofiado. I don't know how you say it, atrophy. When you have, for instance, your hands and your hands are like this.
Oh.
Like the disease.
Yeah. Atrophy. Yeah.
Atrophy.
Yeah.
It was like a feature atrophied. I don't know. And Alejo was intelligent enough, sensible enough in order to realize that. And we developed an incredible friendship at the same time. He was also editing the film previous to that, A Propósito Buenos Aires. So then premiering Bafisi, it was good and strong experience to show the film there. It's bizarre each time that you show your film. I'm very happy with the film. And then you show it, and well, it becomes public, and all this work that you put yourself into is shown, and you get the reactions, and that sometimes it's good, sometimes so. But yeah, it's an experience that you are not prepared. The exposition one, even if it's small. I never had like big expositions, but it's a bizarre time, and you came to learn a little bit out of it. I'm just telling this because I just went through the same thing 4 days ago, and I thought I would cope with it, and rather not. But yeah, you get nervous, stupidly nervous, and yeah, and that was the film wasn't shown in many places. It took some time to have its whereabouts. And it took like a year even. Like I premiered in Bafisi, nothing happened in Bafisi. Everybody won an award except me and two more. And it was okay, you're not here to win awards, you're just making films and showing them. But nothing. And you say, wow, well, maybe I'm absolutely wrong in something. Yeah, and then you don't care much, you keep on seeing the film, you learn from it, you start getting ideas for new things. It usually happens to me that way. I react to the film that I already did. So A Propósito led me to El Hombre Robado, and El Hombre Robado took me to Todos Mienten. When I decided to do Todos Mienten, I wanted to shoot in color, for instance. I wanted to shoot with many actors that I came acquainted with. I wanted to make a narrative that was much more complex, more fragmentary. I wanted to keep on working with Sarmiento as a subject, and I became making these new variations on these themes, and that's how Todos Mienten got its existence. And also because finally 1 year after its premiere in Bafisi, almost 1 year, El Hombre Robado won some awards. The Stolen Man won 2 awards in Jeonju and in Las Palmas Film Festival that were generous awards, and that money was made able for me to pay the people that work in the previous film, and also to put the money into the next one. I do think that there should be a bond of production and brotherhood in between the films. That I work, I teach, so when I have to buy my shoes, I use that money. And when I get money from the films, I try that goes to the next one. Fortunately, I have a way of producing that it's very small, very cheap, very reduced budget. I always would try my idea is that they should grow from film to film, but little by little, step by step, in a proportionate way. And the money that we have, it's been distributed as best as I can. Of course, there are no big amounts of money, but every time that money comes in, it gets distributed, and that system tries to be smooth and tries to be gentle and tries to sustain a way of producing that I enjoyed. And that is this, that I have, and I have made a couple of films right now, so it's somehow working, but I think it's very important that the structure grows each time, that I shouldn't repeat myself in the system in which I decide to work. But at the same time, it would be bizarre to go and make like $1 million or I don't know, $500,000 film, because that money would imply something else that I don't know if I will be able to cope with it, to control those structures. But little by little, trying to I work with my friends, with people that I love. I love providing them money, even if it's so little, but things should be in movement all the time. We shouldn't believe that we know what we are actually doing, so we have to move all the time. And that was El Hombre Rodado.